Hello, everybody. It is good to be back finally after a very, very long break where we had been doing this podcast and we eventually got to a place where we stopped. But we are back again, and this time is for a very long time. And I'm glad I have a new co-host, Pastor Jim.
Thank you, Bishop, for having me.
Sure. We can't wait to hear the questions and all those things that she has got for me today. But I know your lives will never be the same again after listening to this podcast. I want to encourage you, please share the broadcast, share it with your friends, share it with everybody so somebody can be blessed. Wow, this is a beautiful place. Rudex Hospitality. Where exactly your name?
Rudex is located in the heart of Avondale. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place. So much comfort, so much tranquility. It's a place that you want to go for business trips, where you have a place to stay that is so quiet and you can be so creative in it. If you look at the artwork on the walls, it's just amazing.
Amazing. Definitely, I know during the coming podcast we should be able to show the different angles of this B&B, from the garden to the veranda to everything that's out there. Really amazing. Thank you so much for making sure we are here. So like I said, if you're just joining us, please share the podcast, share it with your friends, share it with your family so that they can be blessed. I know we have got an interesting topic today, so and there were lots of questions for me. Please, sure.
We do have a lot of questions for you, Bishop. People have been crazy about this and they want to know from you. So today's topic is relationship and soul connections.
Jesus, relationships and soul connection. I've heard this one too many times. Soulmate young.
Yes, soulmates. It's an issue.
I've heard people who tell me, that's the song that I soulmate young after I got married. And so this is a very interesting one.
Is your soulmate? It's a whole
it's another story. Okay, all right. So what are the questions?
So our first question is, what is a soul tie beyond the religious language that often surrounds the term?
Okay, all right. What's a soul connection? Now, I think a lot of it has been defined by maybe I'll go on the religious connection first, because a lot of it has been defined by that, because a human being is tripartite in nature, whereby whichever way, whether religious or not, we understand when we're talking about a human being, we're not only talking about the part of them that is the body that we see, because there is the body, there is the soul, then there is the spirit. So a person being a tripartite being then basically means there are connections that you can have that are on a body level, where I one of my daughters, I hope she'll be watching Memutasa. I want to hit this one on her. She'll say, "Dad, do you remember my curvy friend?" I'm like, "What?" That friend of mine who's curvy, and I'm like, "No, I don't remember." For me, the thing is, I remember people's faces, not their body structure. But there are people who are that look at somebody and they've got a connection with somebody on a board level, but wow, he's hot. I've had a lot of girls, that guy, it's all dark and handsome. That's what they're interested in, and I feel for all they had some light in complexion, that I don't want to by anybody. So people have a connection where they they meet somebody, they will like them. Now, the whole point I want to emphasize is soul connection is to do with liking somebody. So you look at somebody, you like them, and then you move from the bodily connection, where it becomes a connection of the soul. Now, the soul is broken into several things. Number one, it's a mind connection. You think alike. There's a sameness in the direction where you want to go in life. Number one. So we move from the mind, the thinking, then we go into the emotional part, where the soul has to do with the emotions. So it's two people, then that get emotional entangled, because something was so attractive, but you understand it was on a deeper level than just physical attraction. There's something within you that begins to be drawn, and the person is also drawn towards you so much that you miss them in a way that you're like, no, this is not normal. so we are already talking about soul connection right there, because the connection is that deep that you understand this is just beyond physical attraction. Something within me longs for this person.
Yes.
It desires for this person. It's like I'm not fulfilled if I have not talked to this person.
Yes.
I've not seen this person. I've not spent time with this person. I don't know if you have ever been addicted to Coca-Cola.
No, unfortunately.
Which drink have you ever been addicted to? Now,
let's talk about chocolate. I'm addicted to chocolate, Bishop. Please help me. I need delivery.
A lot of people, I always tell people that a lot of people actually have got addictions. And they look at the guys who have got drug addiction as if they are all the babies. A lot of people have got a lot of addictions to Coke, to chocolate, to movies, to Netflix. And all kinds of questions and all kinds of things. And so you kind of feel that way when you've got a soul connection with someone. When you're addicted to this person. It's like every time you want to hold the phone, the first person you think of is them. Every time you want to do something, you want to check on them, what's happening. It's because something happened that brought your souls, which might be on a mind level, it might be on an emotional level, or even on a subconscious level, because we can break the soul into about 5 different parts. But the most important be either it's a mind level, on a thought level, or it's on an emotional level. So that becomes a soulmate, because you're so bound to this person in your mind that they occupy 90% of your emotional attachment of your thoughts.
I see.
Exactly.
That's where some people start to think wakajikiswa.
Exactly. Because you can't be telling me, you are thinking about one particular individual all the time. What they say, that's the only person that is in your head. No, something must be wrong. But what that is a soul connection.
Yes.
Yeah, your soul is connected with this person on a level that nobody else can really understand that you're connected.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
All right. So our next question from our viewers is: is there more to it when someone ends a relationship, but found that specific person still has a hold on them, and they cannot explain?
Okay. Now here is the thing about the soul. That is quite very important for somebody watching and hearing us right now. What is important to understand is the person that has got, if somebody does something for you or to you, that does not have an emotional impact, it's easy for you to forget that.
Yes.
But anything that has got emotions involved, you will hardly forget it. That's why if I wear a perfume of your ex, I will trigger certain things.
certain emotions.
Certain emotions.
With anger or love.
Exactly. If I play, what happens is that music takes you backwards to a certain place. Why? Because your mind, which is your soul, is a storage place of certain thoughts, emotions, events, and so a perfume can trigger the thought of that event.
Yes.
A song can trigger the thought of that event. So no matter you are in a certain place, you go backwards because that thing triggers something that is hidden in your subconscious mind.
Yes.
So by reason of that, that's why it's very difficult to let go.
Yes, and move on.
Because unless there are better and greater memories that can overshadow those of the past, you realize that you still go backwards, because there is nothing else in the present that can overshadow.
All right.
So people say, they can't move on. You can't move on. I think they're so attached in their soul. Yes, they're attached in their soul because there is nothing that's greater and better that is shown up and that is here now that can overshadow those memories. Okay. For example, I always say the greatest challenge is if people were engaged in sexually.
Yes.
Because understand this. Intimacy is all about, is a lot to do with about the mind. It's got nothing to do with nothing else. It's not two bodies just coming together. Where you are connecting is on a mind level. Because whatsoever the other person is doing is activating some pleasure, not on the pleasure spots. Because the pleasure spots are interpreted in the mind.
Yes.
So your mind then gets into a place where you're like, hey, I've never experienced this. This is like the best thing that has ever happened. Yes. That's why we have found people who broke up, they meet 10 years, 15 years later, they see the next thing,
they're back at
it again. Why? Because something was triggered. So it's either I have to heal of those emotions, where I get help, maybe spiritually, to heal out of that, or psychologically to heal out of that, or number two, I have to have better memories, so that I can put that away.
I see.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense, and I hope somebody is being helped here.
I hope somebody will help. I hope somebody. Please don't forget to share this podcast with somebody. Somebody might be helped. Somebody might have.
Yes.
Might have their life changed because they're watching this. And again, we say thank you to Rodex Hospitality for giving us this awesome place to be hosting this podcast from.
Thank you.
Yes.
So our next question is every deep emotional connection a soul tie?
Right.
Or are there specific conditions that create one?
Okay. Is every deep connection a soul tie? I believe it is. As long as it's deep. There is. Once we use the word deep, then it's a soul tie. The reason why it's a soul tie, like we said, a soul tie, most of the people on the spiritual level talk about make it spiritual without making it solical.
Okay.
Where I'm trying to bring everybody that this is a soul tie, because it's the mind, it's the will, it's the emotions. It's three things, because the soul is the mind, the will, the emotions. So if we're talking about the mind, we're talking about the thoughts, present thoughts, the hidden emotional thoughts, then there's the willpower, the push, the drive that says to me, you know what, I want to drive this direction, I want to drive that direction. So the difference between people, there are people who have got a strong willpower and people who have got not a very strong willpower. So then there is the emotions. And so any deep connection will either affect you on your thoughts, it will affect you on your will, or it affects you on your emotions.
Okay.
So if any of those three things are touched, then we've got a problem. Because like I was saying, intimacy touches on your emotions.
Yes.
Okay? And then communication touches on your thought level. Okay? What touches on your thought level? Because imagine you are talking to somebody every day, 2 hours, 3 hours every day, and you do that for the next 3, 4, 5 months, and then boom, it stops. What happens? You will crash.
You will.
And you will miss the person.
Yes.
And now because of the talking, your will is pushed in a certain direction. You begin to want to do certain things, and probably you did not enjoy watching certain movies, and so somebody pushed your will
that way.
So your whole world has changed by reason of the connection of the deep
connection
that has happened.
All right.
Yeah, and so that's why, yes, it becomes a soul tie.
So that means a soul tie isn't exclusively between romantic people or sexual intercourse. It can also be with friends.
Right. So a lot of people think soul ties are because of sexual connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's beyond sexual connection. Okay, what can happen is I can have a friend, a male friend, whom I've got a soul connection with.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a soul tie. The Bible says the soul of Jonathan.
Yes.
Intertwined with the soul of David. If it's intertwined, it means you cannot separate. One of the things that I've noticed a lot of marriages, especially in certain countries, do, they take sand that is either gray and sand that is red, and then they mix it together and they shake it and they say, if you're on a divorce, separate these two. You can't separate them.
You can't.
Because they are now intertwined.
Yes.
They become one thing. So that word is a powerful word. So what soul ties are is your emotions become, it's either your emotions are intertwined, your thoughts are intertwined, or your will is intertwined. So that even if it's events, if certain things, even if you don't arrange somebody, you then I can be thinking of you, and you're at the same time the person is thinking of you. And the moment you pick up the phone to call them, says, I was about to call you.
That has happened to me.
Yes. And we call it telepath or whatever.
Yeah.
But what that is a soul connection.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so where we say it becomes a problem is if that person has got certain things that they are doing which are demonic or whatever, you have opened the door because your soul is one.
Okay. All right.
Your soul is intertwined. So it's easy for whatever spirits to then enter you. Why? Because your soul is one. You have opened the door.
Wow.
Because you are intertwined. You are one and the same person, basically.
Wow.
Okay. Now, maybe to put this as an example, this is the body, this is the spirit, this is the soul. So if the body dies, the soul is no longer there.
Yes.
If the body is there, if the spirit goes away, the soul also is getting destroyed. So, but what it means is there is one thing that is connecting the body, the spirit and the body is the soul. Yes. So what connects you and your person is the soul. There's something that keeps you interconnected.
Wow.
You keep on getting connected.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Great.
So now how does one break such soul tie?
Okay. Now, I know a lot of people talk about prayer and all those kind of things. I think they're specific to, is the soul connection, was it on an emotional level? Was it on a will level? Was it on a thought level? That's what then determines, because the only way you remove the old is by bringing in the new.
Yes.
Okay. There's a book and also a preaching by what's this lady, Juanita Bynum, called No More Sheets.
Okay.
Where she was explaining, I think in the preaching, she was talking about, I've slept with so many men. And so she was wrapping around this sheet over her and says, every man represents a sheet. It's a sheet over my soul.
All right.
So much that because I slept with him, every time I see him, or I just think, or a music that used to play a lot, something get triggered in me and I want to sleep with him. And that's why when you meet somebody that you slept with at one time, something gets triggered because it's a shit over your soul. There's a soul connection. So until maybe God helps you and you pray about it and you remove these shits, that's the only time you can move away from this person having a control over you.
Okay.
So it means it requires prayer. It requires, number two, putting new information in me that says I want to break certain things. Like I was saying, if it's on the mind level, it then means I probably need to listen to something else.
All right.
And take away the direction this guy was taking me into. So maybe he loved soccer. I might need to stop going for soccer.
All right.
Reinvent myself.
Okay.
Go for rugby. Something completely different. That then doesn't get triggered so that I don't have an emotional connection.
Okay.
By reason of something that this person brought into my life.
All right. So how do we know that that soul tie has genuinely been broken? Because you're talking about disconnecting yourself from certain things. You know, some could think of it as avoidance, right?
Yeah.
And then later on down the years, you think you have disconnected, and then you find you haven't actually disconnected. So how do we know that we have genuinely disconnected from a soul tie, having done everything that you've mentioned? Is there a way to
so someone wrote on Facebook, I think it was Prophet K, who wrote on Facebook, they say, if you left a church and you keep on going to check what events they are doing, whatever is happening in that church, you are still a member. So if you meet this guy that you dated at one point and he posts something, it should not trigger you.
Okay.
Whatever. You should not be going on the status. What are they doing? Who are they dating?
Yes.
What's happening? As long as that is still happening, it means the soul tie is still there.
It's still there.
You haven't healed. You haven't moved on.
Wow.
So part of moving on is even if somebody passes, hi, how are you? You know, should be able to meet your ex and in this, hey, you're looking good. And then, thanks, how's the family?
And move on.
And move on. And it's as if you never met them.
Yeah.
You're not going to go on your phone and start calling your friend. Do you know who I met? John. If John, imagine, of all people, then your whole week is all about John.
Wow.
And you're getting triggered about John and all those kind of things. So you should be able to get a place where we don't get triggered by it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you so much, Bishop. So we're moving on to the next segment of our questions, which is...
Please do. I think we've got about 10 minutes. We've got about 10 minutes. So yeah, we should...
We'll try and cover as much as we can. The next section was, why do we keep attracting the same person? You date Tom, he's like John. You date John, he's like Peter. And you're wondering what is going on here. Like, am I doing something wrong? Am I sending the wrong vibe? What is it?
Oh yeah, so I think one of the most favorite preachings I've ever listened to by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa was about Legion, the guy who had a Legion. And the guy with the Legion basically went and started staying in the tombs.
Okay.
And the Bible says nobody could help him as he was staying in the tombs. And so as he was in the tombs, it was as if anything that would come there was bad. So the problem was not, so even if, say, some people tried to clothe him, and he would still remove the clothes.
Yes.
Some people try to bind him and he would still break the chains and loosen himself. So the problem was not outside. So which is where the problem is with most people. They're trying to change what is on the inside, on the outside. What's the problem is on the inside.
Okay.
But one of my sons, Philip came to me and said, Dad, I discovered of the 12 girls that I dated in the last 24 months. I was like, huh? How many? He says, 12. I was like, oh, okay. 24 months says, yes. Says, on the second month, I discovered each and every one of those girls is a prostitute. I mean a professional prostitute that goes on the streets or goes into the bars to do whatever they're doing. I'm like, so, Phil, what's your assessment? He says, there are no more good girls out there. I said, are you sure? Are you sure? If you say there are no more good girls, it includes your sisters as well.
Oh my goodness.
Because you've got married. He says, no, my sisters are fine. I said, so I just tried to prove to you, it's not about the girls. The problem is not outside, the problem is inside of you.
All right.
There is something in you that is attracting the wrong kind. There is either a mindset, there is a vibe, there is something within you that wants dark, tall dudes, baddies, that looks at a good guy and feel like, this is not a guy.
Yes.
So it evaluates somebody on an outside level, not on an inside level. Now, Bishop Noel Jones says protrudeness, splendor.
Okay,
the outside of a thing, which everybody, like all these guys talk about the girl who looks like a Coca-Cola bottle. So all they're looking at is the protrudeness, splendor. It's everything on the inside. So what then happens is tendency is that we have people that will date only light-skinned chicks. Will never date a dark chick. So they already have removed no matter how good a character that she has got, they will never look at the character. The first thing that attracts them is the outside skin. Now, how you get to that place is socialization. Who socialized you? Who helped you to look at the world? Because we look at the world by the lenses of the people that we grew up with.
Wow.
Which then means if I am going to look at what is success, it's dependent on who brought me up. What they call success. Probably just getting a house somewhere in the location somewhere, getting a my master 323 to them is success. So
yes.
If I got socialized that way, I believe when I get a master 323 and I get my 2-bedroom house somewhere in Kuazana, I have arrived.
Wow.
It's socialization. So some people think the best girls must be light-skinned, might be certain body weight. So there might come a girl who is huge and beautiful in heart, an amazing girl, and I'll never get to look at her head because somebody told me beauty is being skinny and light in complexion.
Wow. So how do we correct that?
Right.
It's a pandemic,
It is.
It's a pandemic because
it is. Yeah. Now, most people are rush to actually say it's demons.
Okay.
They blame everything on demons. Instead of going to assess myself. One of the things that I always say to people, write down. I dated John, Timothy, Tommy, Samson. What is the same about these people? What was I looking for in these people? I've got a lot of young girls, especially I'm at 2K, who are dating married men and very old men. They've got deadly issues.
Okay.
It's nothing. They grew up without a father.
All right.
So when they see somebody who is old, who's mature, who's responsible, they're going towards them so that they can
fulfill the dirty part.
They can fulfill the dirty part.
Yeah.
So a lot of people actually need to go through counseling, an assessment of who did I date, why did I date them, what is the things that are similar. Sometimes you find, I've got a friend who used to date single moms. All the people that used to date it were single moms. He was never married.
Wow.
And I'm like, because he had a rescue thing.
Okay.
Want you to rescue from your situation.
Yes.
Wanting to rescue from your situation.
Yes.
I want to be. He wanted me hero syndrome. And by reason of that, they all used to leave him broken. All kinds of situations have happened in his life. Why? Because he was trying to rescue people who did not want to be rescued.
Yep.
So assessment, good self-introspection is actually very necessary. Very intentional.
Intentional about it.
Exactly.
Oh, this is such a beautiful time with you,
yeah.
Bishop.
Sure.
Unfortunately, our time is up. Though we had like 1,000 more questions, that are burning up.
I'm sure getting another session is
I'm sure we'll probably have to have a second session of this session. So to everyone who has joined us, we thank you so much. Again, would like to thank Rudex Hospitality for hosting us. I thank you, Bishop, for your time, for your wisdom, and the direction that you've given us how to break soul ties.
Right.
And what soul ties are, we've had the wrong Yeah, exactly. So it's great. It's been great. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Please, I think at the end of the session, there should be some numbers on the screen about Rodex Hospitality,
yes.
so that you can come and enjoy the hospitality in this place. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate you. God bless you.